Hello, my name is André Campbell. I'm your host of Spiritual IV. And today I want to talk to us about how we relate to one another. I know that sometimes many of us believe maybe that we have, a set way of relating to one another. But a lot of times the question is that way the most effective and most efficient way of relating? And so I want to dive into that a little bit today. I wonder if Stan would help me out and put up our first scripture from Romans 14, verse 19, and it reads, "So then let us pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding." Let's break that out a little bit in real world terminology. Pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbringing. When we have to work with someone, let's just use that as an example. When someone asks us to work with them, or we know we have to do something with someone, that's two different mindsets coming together, and possibly two different ways of relating to things, and explaining things and doing things coming together. Imagine a larger group. We're just talking about two, and so what those two individuals I would encourage them to do, and what would be most effective to do, would be to seek to understand how one another operates. Be very upfront with each other and expressing, this is how I operate, and then as you share with one another, you're able to do what? You're able to come to terms with one another, knowing how that other individual operates. Now, the question is, are you going to be the one leading out the charge of what you're doing together, and the other person shadow because you already know what to do? Or are they going to be leading out and you shadow because they know what to do? Or are both of you approaching this not really knowing how, but looking to figure that out? If that's the case, you figure out which one it is. And sometimes we have to be willing to have a win-win in order to be efficient. Let that other person lead out if they know, or you lead out, or together you work on it. And that's how to understand how to relate with one another. But let's look at another scripture, Philippians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others." The interest of others. Let's not always think about ourselves, but let's consider others in these circumstances. And there's a saying that my father taught me many years ago. It says alignment. He said alignment creates velocity. Alignment creates velocity. If we can come into sync with each other, if we can learn how to relate, if we can learn how to utilize each other's superpowers, I call it, right? The supernatural powers God has given us, the gifts and the talents that He's given us. If we can learn how to operate within that, we can create alignment, which will create velocity, which means we'll be able to go a whole lot faster in this life. I wonder if you would like to go further, or farther, as some people say, farther in life, further in life. I encourage us today that we need to look at the way that we've been relating to others. Take the time. Take the time to, like we said, let's go back. Let's go back to that first verse. Romans 14:19. So then let us pursue that which makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding. Let's build each other up. Let's look for the way in which that we can work together and accomplish great things. I've been working on some projects lately, and they're coming to fruition, and I'm super excited. But I have to let you know, I had to take time to learn to understand the people that I've been working with, so that we can create that alignment that has given us the velocity to accomplish great things. And those great things are accomplished in God's name. God bless you, and I'll see you next week on another episode of Spiritual IV.